So Tom Elliott's just asked to leave to move on for a bigger challenge or new challenge. He wants to leave, which is worrying. And also, the transfer window's just opened and there are big clubs sniffing around all of our star youngsters. This is going to be a challenging month. Hello and welcome to part 60 of Backing the Boro. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we're away against Port Vale and at home against Crewe, both in League 2. Since you were last with me, we had been on a really good run of form. Well, not really good, but good enough to get us into a playoff position. And then we went and lost at home to Colchester in our last game, all of which leaves us just outside the playoff fixed positions. Words, Kev. We're just outside the playoff positions. 8th place, 2 points behind Bradford, only 10 points behind Carlisle. We're not thinking in terms of automatic promotion. I am thinking, wouldn't it be nice to sneak into the playoffs though? But a lot of that does depend on what happens this month, because a number of our players are attracting attention from other clubs. Joshua Sawyer, I mean, anyone who watches my streams will know my views on Steve Evans, the new posh manager. He's been scouting our games. He's been sniffing around both Joshua Sawyer and Rhys Williams. He wants them both, but so do a bunch of championship clubs as well. So it's going to be difficult to keep hold of both of those. Jerry Hendon, I'm not that worried about losing. But the big one is Sir Tom Elliott, who... it's because we got Livesy Mason to convince him to stay. He's all right at the moment. But he wants a new challenge. He feels like he's been here long enough. He's probably a little bit miffed that he's still not a club favoured personnel even. He's still not on the list, which I don't understand at all. I'd be a little bit miffed if I was him as well. I'd be thinking, I'm 29, let's move on to a club who appreciate me. But we do appreciate you, Sir Tom. We appreciate you more than you know. And I am trying to send him on a coaching course, but it's not available at the moment. I can't have the conversation with him at the moment. It doesn't seem possible to send him on a coaching course. He's not showing any staff attributes yet. I am a little bit worried. All of that means that he's not ever going to be available as a staff member, which would be heartbreaking. But I am keeping a close eye on it. He's only 29. Maybe when he turns 30, that'll tick over. But I'm pretty sure I've had 29-year-olds I've been able to do that with in the past. Sedwin Scott's also got a grump on, but he's still injured, so nobody cares. This is the team we're putting out there for the first of the two games, away against Port Vale. We've got Nadat in goal, a back four of Anderson, Sawyer, Redhead and Worrell Bristow, with Ince, Taylor and Chambers Shaw in midfield, and then Ball in behind McDonald and Fisher. I have remembered for once to put Sir Tom Elliott on the bench, so we'll give him a run out today. It's always nice to wheel him out when the cameras are on. He doesn't play when you lot aren't here. I know people keep telling me I should be playing him week in, week out, but remember back at the start of the episode a couple of minutes ago, I said how I wanted to sneak into the playoffs. I'm fairly confident I'm not going to sneak into the playoffs if I let nostalgia and sentiment get in the way of picking the best team. He is a non-league player. We're trying to get into League One. He's going to be in and around the squad and we'll use him sparingly, and I don't ever want his experience to go away. I don't want to sell him at any point, but at the same time I would be mad to start him every week when he's probably, I don't want to say he's not up to the task, but he's not up to the task. I mean, he might take a chance today, prove me wrong and be in the team for the rest of the season. Who knows? But we have got a lot of very good young midfield players. We're looking to bring one in on loan who's just come up on our scout reports, who's at Man United, I think, who's, if we manage to score him, you'll see him before the next game. And according to the scout reports, we've just had him on trial, so scout reports and coach reports both saying the same thing, that he is at least 1 star better than any central midfield player we've currently got at the club. He could be a proper game changer, but it's quite a big if, because I'd be quite surprised if he drops down this far. But I guess that might be the progress we've made as a club. Now we're a top half League 2 club. Perhaps we can start getting some of the bigger and better youth players from the bigger clubs available, because he's still only 18, so it's not like he's 21, 22 and needs to be playing in the Championship. It's going to be his first loan. And it's one of those where if he comes in, does the business, we get promoted, he could stay with us for a couple of seasons as we charge up through the leagues. And then if Man United want him back at the end of that, they can have him back. If not, he can stay here permanently. I am getting a little bit ahead of myself because he's not even arrived on loan yet. But I am excited at the prospect of bringing him in. So excited that, oh my goodness me. I'm not going to play Mike Payne. I've sent him out on loan. Leave me alone. Nadat does not do me any favours at all with this goalkeeper policy that I'm operating. He is the best keeper we've got. I'm blaming Redhead for that. Oh, dear. Yeah, wave your arms around, Nadat. Goodness me. Not an equaliser. A goal back before half-time would help get us back roughly on track. But this has been a bit of a mess. We had been playing really well. Until that last game, we were pretty poor against Colchester. McDonald does grab one back. And we do have a chance to reassert ourselves into this game in the second half, because that has been a pretty poor first half performance compared to how we played for a lot of these games in the first part of the season. We do this occasionally, though. Sometimes we go away from home and we just capitulate. So I'm hoping it's just a little bit of that, and we'll be right as rain for the Crewe game at home in the second part of the episode. And it's the reason why we're just outside of the playoffs rather than top of the league, because on our day we can beat anyone in this division. But then sometimes, with it being largely a bunch of kids that we've got in our team, sometimes too many of them just don't turn up, and we lose badly. And as soon as things start to go wrong, heads start to drop. And I mean, even our captain Anderson, he's only like 23, 24. He's not. Yeah, he's played over 200 games for us, but it's not like we've got a Sir Tom Elliott on the pitch to drag the team around and get them playing well. If only I had one to bring on. I am going to let this highlight play out, and then Sir Tom's coming on. Fisher is in behind, squares it, trying to find McDonald, but McDonald couldn't quite get there, and he really should have chased it, because if he'd have chased onto that... Oh, but it's coming inside to Fisher again, and we do equalise. That is as big, if not more of a mistake than the one we made at the other end. Welcome to League 2 defending, boys and girls. This is just ridiculous. I'm frustrated that McDonald isn't chasing him down there enough. Doesn't put him under any pressure, but he still plays the most ridiculous pass you'll ever see. And Fisher tucks it away for his goal. And I guess we still want to bring Sir Tom on, because he can spur us on to a winner. All the momentum should be with us at this point. Right, let's bring Sir Tom on for Rowan Ince. Get him on in his preferred position as a Carolero. Ball's going to come off as well. James Ball has been playing really well recently, but didn't play well against Colchester, not played well again today. So we'll bring Mason on in the attacking midfield role, just tucking in behind those two. And Sawyer not playing well and on a yellow card means, Kev, bring on Jake Laskowski, your super sub. I don't like to substitute defenders. Kev, you do it every game. I know. It's 3-2 all of a sudden, and that's been quite a comeback. As it stands right now, we're back up into the playoff positions. I don't know how I feel about the substitutions I've just made now. Should I be making nostalgia substitutions like Tom Elliott and Livesey Mason when we're now back in the game, or should I have left well alone? I mean, this could be about to bite me in the backside. Oh, what a miss. What a miss that is. I've just noticed as well, although it's 3-2, there's been one clear-cut chance in the entire game and it fell to Port Vale. So there's been a lot of weird, I mean, we've seen them. There's been a lot of weird goals in this game. But with 4 minutes to go, we still haven't seen any of Sir Tom Elliott or Livesey Mason. And Port Vale are in again, and I think that's probably fair that they've equalised. It is their second clear-cut chance. We still haven't managed to create one. But it's still... It hurts a little bit when we've come back from 2-0 down to make it 3-2, to then get into the last 5 minutes and have the equaliser go in. It's troublesome. But hopefully this is where Sir Tom or Livesey step up and make themselves heroes by grabbing a winner between them. Sir Tom Elliott assist for Livesey Mason to tuck away. I mean, we didn't... 20 minutes they were both on the pitch. We did not see a sniff out of either of them. And that's why they don't play week in, week out. Right. 3-3 from where we were on the 40-minute mark. I can live with that. Now we hopefully go and beat Crewe, and there's still a chance we could get ourselves into that top half of the table for the end of the episode. We got our man Andrew Skelton. He's one of a few changes we're making for this game, but he's 19. He's on loan from Manchester United. 3.5-star current ability, 5-star potential, officially better than all our other midfield players. Never played a game of football. That all changes today. He comes in on the right-hand side of the midfield, and the other changes at the back. Laskowski coming back into the team, and Williams fit again comes back in at right back. We're fighting off transfer offers for a number of our players in between the two games. A transfer window silliness has started. So there's been offers coming in for Reece Williams. There's offers coming in for Joshua Sawyer. Hearts are involved in both of these. They're offering pathetic amounts of money though. For Joshua Sawyer, 34,000 raising to 130,000 with add-ons. He's valued at 77,000. I'm thinking for this guy, 5-star potential, already a regular in our team, been a regular for 2 years. I want £500,000 for him. I'll probably accept 300,000 maybe. My thoughts are we're £500,000 in the red. If we can sell the two of them and raise that £500,000, that's probably sensible financial business. So I asked for both of them 250,000, and the teams just withdrew. It was Hearts and Leeds who were in for Williams, but I imagine there's going to be more of that as the month goes on. I think the values we're being offered are being affected by how low our reputation is. Probably a combination of how low our reputation is and how insecure our finances is. But the finance thing, it makes no sense for us to sell a player who we're only paying £600 a week to. Why would we sell him for 30 grand? Why would we sell him below his value when he's an asset that we could sell for several 100,000? And if not, we'll just keep him, carry on paying him peanuts for 2 years, and have him in our team. For us to bring in a 3.5-star current ability right back, League 2 standard, is going to cost us £500,000, which we don't have. So if we can't get that money, it's frustrating, but I guess it is, like I say, a combination of our reputation and our financial situation. But I'd like to think as time goes on, we'll start to get a reputation as a club that are good at developing young players. We're hoovering up the Premier League young talent. We've got a whole load of hot prospects that bigger teams are going to want. So they need to start being willing to pay for them. It's the way we're going to keep ourselves afloat as we move up the leagues, because our stadium, even though the stand is now finished, as you can see on that far side, the new stand is in. It's small. We've only got a 6,000 capacity. Oh, nada. Oh my goodness, how much longer am I going to carry on with this? I feel like I've dug myself into a hole with him. I need to be able to prove myself right, but at what point am I just blind to his ineptitude? I promise you, he only does stuff like that when you're watching. When you're not there, he's awesome. But oh my goodness, is he camera shy? Why have we paid money for this stupid big telly in the corner? We've got a 6,000 capacity stadium, can be expanded out to 8,000, and we've got a massive telly in the corner, which is just stupid. We spent £2 million on adding that 2,000-seater stand. It seems insane. The rest of the stadium is terraced. We can't expand beyond 8,000. So at some point in the next, I would say 3 or 4 seasons, I would like to think we're pushing for a place in the Championship. We're going to need a new ground. And the only way we're going to be able to afford something like that is if we've developed a reputation for bringing players in for next to nothing, selling them on for £500,000, £1 million. You can tell I'm a posh fan. It's the model posh used to survive in real life. We bring players in for next to nothing. I mean, we have that's how it was. We've built up to a more scaled version of that now, where we bring players in for £250,000, £500,000, sell them on for $5 million plus. But it started off being let's bring them in for cheap and sell them on for $1 million. And over time, our reputation increased. It was realised that a player who's come through at posh is likely to be a good player. And the price we could ask started to go up and up. And that's what I'm hoping to build at Nuneaton. I don't know if that's how it works in Football Manager. It's not. I've never really been one for youth development or being a selling club. So it's going to be interesting to see how that progresses with time. Because at the moment, we've not had a big offer for any of our players ever. And bearing in mind we had Udinese interested in Ercolani years back, and they never offered more than about 15,000 for him. And it's just, when are we going to get a big offer for somebody? Players leave League 2 for £1 million plus in real life, rarely. But 300,000, 400,000 for a good League 2 player, which Williams and Sawyer both are, I don't think £300,000 or £400,000 for each of them is unrealistic. The game clearly does, and we've been rubbish in this game. Absolutely rubbish. I haven't got Sir Tom Elliott on the bench because we brought a new... I can't justify having him on the bench for nostalgia. I just need him to become a coach quick. We need to win this game. Now, we can't lose 2 matches on an episode. It started so positively. I mean, we're still only 3 points outside of the playoffs, and it's Coventry who we're chasing, who are the nearest thing we've got to local rivals now. in an ideal world, they get promoted with us over the next few years, and we keep a rivalry with them that carries us through all the way to the Championship. So I don't mind them being in the playoffs, but I would have liked to have at least shown that we are quite good, which is what I know from playing offline. But no, apparently when you lot are here, we're not very good at all, and rubbish. Right, Anderson into Taylor. Come on, this has got to be an equaliser. Skelton, I've not really seen anything at all from him, but he plays it through to Hendon. Worrell Bristow crosses into McDonald. There is your equaliser. I mean, if nothing else, Josh McDonald is too good for us. And I suspect we won't be able to keep him on loan next year because he is just scoring for fun. He's already had 2 or 3 seasons down in the conference scoring for fun. He's now showing he can do it in League 2 as well. I'm working on the assumption Bristol City are getting relegated from the Premier League and back down in the Championship next year. They would be mad not to have Josh McDonald sat on their bench. The amount of goals that lad has in him. But can we grab a really, really unlikely winner? Ball to Hendon, to McDonald. If we do, it's going to be so harsh on Crewe. Anderson, cross comes in to absolutely no one. And I think that's probably going to be the last kick. And it was. What a pile of poo those 2 games were. Fingers crossed, we'll be back to winning ways tomorrow, I hope. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.